And as always, we're going to be looking for accurate context, good risk management, and always exercising good patience.
Everybody who's traded has gone through periods of time where their strategy hasn't worked.
Where if not a hard stop, you should reevaluate the trades you're in based on time.
That's what we're here for, is to put ourselves in the best success. A trading routine does that, builds that habit, lets you know what to work on, what to reflect on, and what to improve on the next day.
Good afternoon and welcome to the market recap. Let me get this out here. Good morning or good afternoon and welcome to the market recap. Tuesday, June the 14th. I'm John Hoagland. It's Flag Day. Make sure you get out your flag. I got mine out here right now, and I hope that you had an interesting and profitable trading day. They're always interesting, probably not always profitable, but that's what we're here for. As far as news is concerned, other than Flag Day, U.S. stocks have continued lower after a pretty considerable pullback in the S&Ps right off weekly kickoff low. A pretty good shot within 3.5 points. We put in the low, and we've really kind of come back off that nicely. Everybody's just awaiting the rate hike that is expected to come tomorrow. The only question is how much. Nat gas prices dropped 16% after news of how long it's going to take to fix the Texas liquid natural gas terminal in Freeport, Texas, I should say. The Bitcoin drops another 5% today, testing 21,000. I understand Coinbase has cut 18% of its workforce due to these changes. I want to say thanks to everybody who attended the, what was today? Tuesday was Make Hoag Money. We had a couple of trades, one good, one bad. We made a few $100, so all in all, a success today. We got into some pretty serious conversations during it today, and thanks to our participants, everybody that was there, of course, voting and talking and thinking about these trades, and we had a profitable day today, so that's a good thing. And hopefully, if you did watch the Coach's Playbook today, hopefully you found some interesting information for you there. Just recapping what happened in the markets today, crude oil extremes at the high brings a downside move that brings us back to the repair area that we were discussing today on the market forecast. We're going to take a look at that in the charts. As always, we're going to look at all these things in the charts. The E-mini S&P values grinded lower in line with the open interest that we've been adding for the last couple of sessions as investors prepare and hedge for the FOMC meeting. Weekly kickoff low, pretty close. You know, all these levels are more zones than absolute. There's no finites in futures trading. If you were paying attention, maybe you were able to find a long down there, and that long was good for 30, 40 points on this push from the lows. Pretty good opportunity there. NASDAQ moves short time frame, balanced lower, still in balance. Traders and investors again hedging their bets for tomorrow. Gold prices failed to hold the weekly kickoff low at 18.18. This morning when we were on the forecast, it was holding 18.18 as the dead low of the regular trading hour session. That did not hold, and the market continued to move to the downside. Where are the buyers in gold? Where is the safe haven? It's not in bonds. It's not in gold. It's not in crypto. Where are investors going with their cash? 6E, the euro, the US dollar holds its value. Euro just kind of bided time today along the weekly kickoff low. The 10-year rates going higher. We know this. 10 years set the tone for tomorrow by leaving a late spike at the end of the profile today. We'll see that in the charts. The nat gas, that repair of the Freeport liquid natural gas terminal, not expected to be done until later this year, and boy, the natural gas sure changed its tune. We looked at it this morning. I told you I was putting it on the back burner. Probably shouldn't have done that. because, boy, that was a heck of an opportunity once it broke down below that weekly kickoff low. It just barreled through there and just continued to the downside. As always, make sure you hit the lucky like button, share, comment, question, feedback. And I always deserve some heckling, and love is always welcome here on the Market Recap, Market Forecast, everything we do here. I can get notifications when we do go live if you subscribe to our YouTube channel and click the little bell. And I'm going to say good afternoon to everybody. Tachyon, it's good to see you here. Good evening, James. I hope you had a good day. George. Lacey's downstairs. It's like 100 degrees here in Chicago. She's been outside maybe 3 times today. She's just been lazing around the house in the air conditioning. She's a big black dog, and that heat really gets to her. So she's just been chilling. Brody, you got some sun in the Olympic Peninsula today. Hopefully it's not as hot as it is here. It's like uncomfortable, humid hot here. Not that I'm complaining. Good afternoon, Brian. Glitter Sandwich, Frederico, Bill Phillips, Spencer. Good afternoon. Brody, thanks for your advice, and only trading the tops and bottoms. Been paying off well lately. Well, good. I'm glad, Brody. I'm glad that you're finding some useful things in the things that we talk about here. That's always a plus, and I love to hear that. I'm glad that things are going well for you. Three Lions, good afternoon. Joe, good afternoon. One Trade Scratch. Anthony Rojas, how's it going? Shady Trader, hey, what's going on? Nice to see you. It's going okay. I've been so far succeeding with my goal this week, which is to stay in process, number one. Always think about risk management and not lose any money. I don't want to lose money this week. It's going to be very, very it's going to be very, very easy to do so. Yes. James, good evening. Drum Lab, what's up? Pray for peace. Yes, please. Everybody, remember to pray for peace. It would be so wonderful to have a world of peace. I used to put a white shirt on my black dog wet it once. Hey, that's a good idea, Frederico. Thanks for thinking of that. Gotta wonder how Lacey would feel about me putting a shirt on her. But that's a really good idea. You know what we usually do, and we're going to be putting it out there at the end of the day today. We get like a little kiddie pool, maybe 5 feet around, maybe a foot deep, and we just fill that with water, and she'll just go out there and stomp her feet in it and lay down and just kind of stay wet, and she loves it. That's a good idea, though, Frederico. I never even thought of that. I got to tell my wife that. And we'll see how successful we are with getting a shirt on Lacey. She's a bit of a velociraptor. Tomorrow is Wednesday. It's group coaching day. Here's a different link to get into group coaching. I look forward to seeing everybody there. Group coaching starts at 1 p.m. Central tomorrow. Something else happens tomorrow at 1 p.m. Central, the FOMC release. So I'm going to start the group coaching at 1:05 so that we can have an opportunity to at least take a look at what happens in the markets, how the markets respond. I'm probably not going to be getting involved too much after the FOMC release tomorrow unless something really jumps out at me. We've got group coaching. I got other things to do. I'm not going to feel like I have to be involved in that. Who knows what's going to happen. This is probably one of the most anticipated FOMC meeting releases in recent history. It was always a big deal on the trading floor. We knew we were in for a very busy afternoon when this was happening. And we were usually very cold-handed as the information was imminent 5 minutes before, 3 minutes before. You can feel your body kind of bringing all the blood into the major muscle groups and into the major organs because you were in a fight or flight type of situation. You knew you were going to be at risk. Your body prepared you for it. I still get that to this day, when I see that there's an important release coming out, my hands start to get cold, start to breathe deeper, get the adrenaline going, and I gotta make sure that I don't get pushed into doing something that I don't want to do just because the opportunity is there. There's a lot of opportunity for risk as well. On group coaching, can you talk about how you potentially recognize points of excess forming on the TPO in real time? Of course. Let me write that down. Anthony, let me get my handy dandy little piece of paper here. Anthony Rojas, finding excess using TPO profiles in real time. All right, I got that, and I may even be able to read what I just wrote. So we'll do that. Look forward to it. My goodness, good afternoon. So we've got a question. We've got something set up for us for group coaching tomorrow. Anthony, very excellent question, and I look forward to be talking about that tomorrow. Let's look at the markets here. Start with crude oil. Post the link to group coaching. This is a link to group coaching. There's another one I can bring you here. Hang on one second, if I can find it. These are, of course, to sign up for, to register for them. Let me get this for you. Group coaching, and here is the link to register. Hello, Eric Hoagland. I like your name. Are we related? Kenneth, there's two links there for group coaching. One takes us through our website. The other one takes you right to the registration on the Zoom platform. All right, let's jump in, take a look. Okay. So PPI came out. There was a little bit of a knee jerk to the upside. Let's start with crude oil. So we've been kind of range bound here. We know we're in rollover. All right, Kenneth, good. We know we're in rollover. We had an opportunity and at the upper extreme of balance this morning to take a trade. When we're in range, the trade that we're probably going to take is a fade against the high of the upper extreme of balance. It took us all the way to the lower extreme of balance. As a matter of fact, it took us pretty much right to weekly kickoff low. We had a couple of good opportunities off of weekly kickoff low today. One here, maybe in the crude oil. It didn't occur until after the close. But here's our upper extreme. Here's weekly kickoff high, which is 124.30. We got up to 123.68. We didn't quite get up there. But on the failure of price to maintain some time above last week's high, this market turned around and brought us right back down to last week's low and the weekly kickoff low. So we really went around the world today in this market. Now, when we were talking this morning, we had an opportunity to open with a gap. I don't think we opened much with a gap. We did leave the opening range initially at the low of the session after I think that we had closed the gap after the open. We were looking at this saying, okay, we've got some opportunity for an execution up in this area, but it looks like this market really needs to kind of fill in some of this longer term. This is about a seven-day long-term balance profile here. When this profile is nice and even, I think that's when we're more likely to move away from this area. And of course, some fundamental information can do that as well. We didn't get any real fundamental information today, so we ended up coming back through this area and maybe starting to fill in some of the space that we've kind of created here. We've got a high volume node here. We've got a high volume node here. We really just kind of ran through it. Be interested again to see tomorrow where this market opens. We know that we've got the API this afternoon at 3:30. We know we've got the EIA tomorrow at 9:30 a.m. Central. There's maybe some new information coming into this market. Right now, this market is still digesting old information, doing old business. And as soon as we use up our ability to facilitate trade in this area, this market will move to another area to try and facilitate trade. I'm not quite sure we're there yet, and remember, we are in rollover. Rollover is scheduled to happen Thursday. I'll be checking volume tomorrow morning to make sure that we're still okay trading the July contract, and we'll probably move to August on Thursday, if not Friday. Still range bound here. Here's the S&Ps. Yeah, we had a lot of open interest built into this market on this move to the downside. Some of it rollover related, some of it probably directional. We've had almost 250,000 open interest increase over the last couple of sessions. That's information. That's saying something. There's sellers. There's people betting on continuation to the downside coming into this market, moving it to lower levels on okay volume. I don't think the volume was all that great yesterday or today. But we still see that this market trying to push to the downside. It's following the open interest. Tomorrow could be a whole nother story. We don't have any idea. We can speculate, we can guess, we can try, we can hypothesize, but nobody knows how the market is going to respond to anything tomorrow. If it's a 75 basis point increase, if it's a 100 basis point increase, what's the market going to do? We can speculate. We don't know until it happens. So we're looking for somewhat range-bound activity for the last couple of days. How did we do in that? This was yesterday's regular trading hour session, today's regular trading hour session. We put in a high yesterday, we put in a low at a weekly kickoff low today. Again, what is this? 3.5 points off weekly kickoff low. Remember, these are always zones. Nothing is finite in futures trading. I'm hoping some of you had the opportunity to catch this move back to the upside. Remember what my brother said yesterday, bear market rallies are tough. So we did move value lower. We have overlapping to lower range. I think we did a pretty good job of identifying a probable area where the market was likely to do more rotation than direction before the FOMC number tomorrow. So nice move here. Where do we get to after the open or on the open? The point of control from yesterday. Short time frame control today. So what the market's telling us, it traded to a short time frame level and an every time frame level down here at weekly kickoff low. Not so lucky here in the NASDAQ. The NASDAQ didn't appear as weak today as the S&Ps. It did extend below the range from yesterday, but the value area was overlapping to lower. There's not much different I can say about the NASDAQ than the S&Ps. Here's the 30-minute chart. So we had overlapping to lower value, where in the S&P's value was outright lower, overlapping to lower range. Had another nice opportunity down here with nothing really to lean on like we did the S&Ps. So again, what's going to happen tomorrow? I wish I could say. I wish I had a crystal ball and I could say, well, here's where we're going to open, and here's where we're going to buy it, and here's where we're going to sell it, and so we could all make lots of money. Nobody has that ability. No matter how much I wish, it just doesn't seem to happen. I'll keep trying, though, and you guys keep trying, too. So here we are waiting for FOMC. Gold We were looking at this morning. We were near the low end of balance. Let's start this with the daily chart like usual. Yesterday we went, last week's high through last week's low to weekly kickoff low. This morning we started the day leaving the weekly kickoff low 1818 at the dead low of the session. I was hopeful for some continuation to the upside. However, those hopes were pretty quickly bashed as soon as the market started closing 30-minute bars below that level. We see the market continuing to move to the downside. Where are the buyers in gold? Where are they? I want to be there when they show up. The 10-year, we were looking, volume and open interest increased yesterday to the end of rollover. Downside auction seems healthy. Maybe a little bit of opposite move to kind of clean up some of the weaknesses in structure above price. We didn't really do much of that either today. We just basically finished checking yesterday's high, checking yesterday's low, just kind of settling, and again dragging relatively close to weekly kickoff low as the dollar just kind of held its strength throughout the day. The 10-year, we may be in a little bit of trouble here tomorrow. We do have some weakness in structure above this market. We open in range and value, which says, hey, stay patient. We put in a high relatively close to the value high from the previous day, from yesterday. And we one-time framed lower all the way to the end of the day. This last bar here is a late spike. I don't even have profile open on this. That's all right. We'll do that later. But this 1:30 to 2 o'clock bar, market extended below the previous range and closed it down there. What we're going to be looking for tomorrow is, are we going to open below the late spike? Are we going to open inside the late spike? Or are we going to open above the late spike? There may be some really valuable information for us in that regard as to the way to trade this tomorrow. And we'll talk about that tomorrow morning when we have a look at how this market opens in relation to the late spike. And our nat gas, boy, oh boy, I should have never put this on the back burner. It's like a $16,000 one lot. Crazy. So the market was in range, was in value, we were looking at an inside day from yesterday. Nothing tremendous going on here. But as soon as the news came out about that liquid natural gas station, if you will, not being able to be online again till later on in the year, things just went sour quickly. Bang, bang. As soon as we left the range, as soon as we got through weekly kickoff low, I wasn't watching it, but I was pretty sure this was a close your eyes and sell situation. I'm sure it was pretty easy to get left behind in this regard. So now we're in a new situation here in nat gas. This is a market state break. This is going to be interesting to watch for a little while. I don't typically trade natural gas. I think it's crazy. It's a crazy market like NASDAQ. But I'm going to always be watching and learning. Watch and learn. Watch and learn. The market's your best teacher. All right. So, I was going to bring Lacey up here, but my wife just took her outside. We get some shade in the backyard about this time, so maybe she'll be more comfortable in the shade. So today is Flag Day because today is the day that Congress adopted the Stars and Stripes as the American flag. That was in 1777 during the Revolution. What else happened on this day? 1982, this was the ending day of the Falkland Island Wars. 1789, the Bounty mutiny survivors reached Timor. Captain Bligh spent They were adrift for 7 weeks in an open boat and traveled 4,000 miles in a small open boat before reaching Timor. It's amazing they survived that. Looking for positive things. 1917, U.S. President Woodrow Wilson gives Flag Day address. It's probably the first Flag Day. As far as music is concerned, it's... Who did I see here? Boy George's birthday. He was born in 1961. Didn't realize he was older than me. 1967, the Doors appeared at Steve Paul's scene in New York City, and Jimi Hendrix was in the audience to see the show. 1974, Ray Stevens was #1 in the UK singles chart with The Streak, if you remember that song. 1977, this was the last of 6 sold-out shows at Madison Square Garden, and I believe that those shows became the basis of The Song Remains the Same, the album and the film of the same name. Well, that's about enough of that stuff. I always like to know what happened in these days. So, we got FOMC tomorrow. Get some good rest. Get some good sleep. Be good to each other. Be good to yourself. Please remember to pray for peace. And have a good dinner. Have a glass of wine. Get a good night's rest. We're going to need it. I'll see you tomorrow morning at 7:45 a.m. for the market forecast, and then again for group coaching and the recap tomorrow. Looking forward to an opportunity to learn. My goal this week, don't lose money. So far, successful. I'm a little further from losing money than I was when I started the week. So, doing okay. I hope you are too. Yes, this is going to be one of the biggest ones we've seen in quite a long time. Perhaps you're right, of our lifetime. So be ready. Get some good rest. Stay hydrated. Stay fed. Tomorrow might be kind of slow before then. Absolutely, Joshua. Absolutely. So the last thing we want to do is get hurt before that comes out. I'm not going to be playing, but get some rest, and we'll see you in the morning, 7:45, same bat time, same bat channel. Have a good night.